Alrighty. I hope everyone can see me. What's up, guys? It's been about a week. Well, exactly a week. And we are here, back again, making our Unity project. So that's exciting. I've got Unity opened up this time before we started the stream. Thinking ahead of the game here. So yeah, let's just kick things off right about now. So last time, we kind of brute forced the movement. So today I want to work on getting this to be a bit, I don't know, more smooth. Let me see here. That's why I haven't opened the game scene. So this is what we have so far in our game. We got our floors, we got our beautiful background. What else do we got? We got our player. Cool. And he's had a couple of cups of coffee today, so he's really moving. Really moving, yeah. So I'd like to fix this. I'd like to make it, like I say, a bit smoother, so that he doesn't go from 0 to 60 and 60 to 0 in 0.001 seconds. And then after that, I guess we'll work on platforms, having that move, and then we'll work on the background moving and the floor moving, and we're gonna implement something called a parallax effect, which is a fancy word for saying that the background is gonna move slower than the foreground, so slower than the platforms and the floor. Right. So let's also get some animations in here, because I'd like to see him, this little gumdrop, strawberry gumdrop, run and jump and actually have his arms move and legs move, because I think we have a few animation frames for that. Also, I realized after the last episode, I made a number of the changes in play mode, and so none of them actually saved. So I think it was something like this, and then I don't think we worked on the box collider at all. But yeah, it was just right. Okay. Okay. So I noticed that the jump doesn't work while we're moving, so I'm sure we can fix that as well. Okay, so here, yeah, instead of just directly setting the transform position, what I realized is that whenever you're dealing with movement, you want to include the time.delta time variable. And if you don't know exactly what that is, I can try my best to, I'll just comment this out, to describe what it is. It's essentially the time that it takes for your game to go from one frame into the other. Oh, Rob says hello. Wonderful. Hello, Rob. Cool. Glad you can make it. So, alright, so time.delta time. It's just the time that it takes for the game to go from one frame into the other. So let's say your game is running at 60 frames a second, then it'll take about 1/60th of a second for your game to go to draw one frame and then draw the next frame. That didn't make too much sense, but hopefully it'll make more sense once we actually implement it. Times, did we have a speed? We did. So, because this is happening every frame, the getKey function is technically, the update function is being run every frame. So every frame, if the A key is being held down, then we're going to move left. So if we are doing this every frame, then we don't want to just move him or her, them, a set speed, a set like distance each time. We want that to be dependent on the frame rate. So that's really the advantage of using time.delta time, is it makes it, I did that wrong. It makes it it allows the game to be frame rate independent, I should say. We are independent of frames here. Okay. So we have add 4, so we can work on that a bit later. That's fine. Why don't we just do ifs here instead of else? That might actually solve that problem. Okay, so we are translating. We want to do vector 2 dot left. I'm gonna grab some water. Stay hydrated. Very important. Always got to stay hydrated. All right, let's save that. Head back into Origami. And let us see here. Oh, right. Whoops. That was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. Maybe I missed that day in school. Okay, so we're moving to the right, we're moving to the left, and now we just have to increase our horizontal speed by just a smidgen. Right now, it's about 0.3, so maybe we want to make that like 5. That sounds healthy. Sounds like a nice jogging pace. Yeah, that's okay. That's alright. That's doing dandy. Ah, yes, the infinite jump hack. That happens with nearly every beginner's platformer game in Unity. This is where we're gonna need to use some Boolean logic, check if he's already jumping, if they're already jumping. Let's make it like 7. I want to move a bit faster. Let's make them move. Yeah, that's nicer. Right. Let's get in there. Okay. And so that's gonna be the floor. So I think what I'll do for this eventually, I'm just thinking ahead here. My mind's a bit jumbled at the moment, but when it comes to the infinite floors, instead of just making a new floor and moving it next to this floor every time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep replacing the tiles. Let me see if I can actually see. No, I can't. Okay. I'm just going to take this first tile here, and I'll just move it all the way at the end, but with its X position. So instead of being at X is 0.64 here, it'll be at whatever this guy is plus whatever the width is. So I guess in this case the difference is... Oh, that's the one all the way in the end. Ha, funny. I messed that up somehow. Alright, well, we'll just switch that. We'll make this. That's going to bother me, so we're going to do that. And use some of that. Oh yeah. Fun level design stuff right here. Okay. Right, I hope none of the other ones are out of order, because that's also... Oh, they are. No! Alright, well, it's fine. We'll have to deal with it. Okay. Right, so anyway, so this guy's gonna come all the way over here at a certain point after who knows how many seconds, and we'll just do that forever. Ever and ever. And do I have... I do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to make an empty background. It's called BG for short. I'll bring this guy in here. Actually, I should center this first. Let's do that. So where are you? You are here. So what's the Y for this guy? Lovely. Love me a little 5.63. And yeah, okay. What happens if I bring this over just a wee bit? Okay, so that's where that stops. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna take this, put that in there, I'm gonna duplicate it, make another one, and bring it over here, and that'll just transition real nice and smooth like. And then I'm just going to do essentially the same thing. I'll probably, no, actually, yeah, I'll have enough space here. Got some bugs rolling around in my room here. That's good. I'll have to take care of those later. Okay, cool. So let's add a sprite to our platform as well. Let's make sure that's about the height that the player can jump over. So I'll say about there, sure. And you know what? Let's make a couple of sprites within this one. So this guy's a sprite renderer, doesn't need it. I'll remove that. I think this guy also has a, no, it does not. That is a lie. Box collider, that's fine. Yes, this is also going to need box collider. Don't want anybody invading his personal space, so we gotta. Okay, then we're gonna add a sprite here. We're gonna add a few sprites. We'll do that. Where did all of my sprites go? Oh, right. Nope, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Oh, it's in here. Right. So why don't we just add this to the sprites folder? I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't think you can. I realized this also last video, but I'm really just moving folders around here, so it's pretty boring. It's a fairly large folder that I just moved, so we're gonna watch the circle rotate. But yeah, then I'm gonna take some of the sprites. Maybe I'll choose a different floor sprite. Maybe I'll make it. I don't know what type of material floats in midair. I don't think that exists just yet. So we're just gonna make it up as we go along, as we do in game design. And whenever we run into a bug, it is not a bug, it is a feature. That's also pretty popular in game design. Yeah, wow, I forgot how big a folder this was. We have a lot of assets in here, which is great. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? Are we able to? Oh, we are. Okay, so what else can we do in the player's movement script while we're waiting for that? We know the jump works. Oh, do you know what we can work on? Making sure that they can't double jump. If we want to add double jump, maybe we can just add a boolean. I'll make it private, and then actually no, I should probably do that for all of these. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add oh, what is it? There's something that allows you. There's hide in inspector. Oh, Serialize Field, is that it? Yeah, Serialize Field. So what this does is normally in C#, well, in C#, in the Unity scripting environment, when you make a variable public, it's available in the inspector. Oh, it's not going to open up yet. But it also makes it accessible to any class, which is not secure. It's not the best habit to get into. So what you should really do most of the time, if this variable doesn't need to be accessed by any other class, any other objects, what have you, then you want to make it private. And then if you just want it to be available in the inspector, you add this serialized field. I think it's called a tag. Or it's not called a tag, it's called something else. Tags have their own names in Unity. Oh, good. Yep. That'll happen. Okay, right. I think that was Unity finishing up here. Yeah, okay, cool. So, again, we have a private, let's call it double jump. Nope, private boolean. Gotta say what the, oh, it's bool here, right. Equals, let's say false. Ah, I've been coding in Python for too long. I don't know why Python uses the double F, the capital F, and everyone else uses the lowercase. Maybe they just want it to be distinguished. We have double jump, and then we'll do another boolean. We'll say is, nope, can't have spaces. Is jumping equals ha 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 ha. Always happens. And maybe we'll also say, we don't actually need to serialize this. I just want to be able to see it in the inspector. So maybe I'll serialize this for now, and then we can remove these afterwards. But I just don't want to have to print anything to the console. I just want to see it in the inspector, and see it update. Is fallen. And actually, technically, we don't really need to say equals false. It defaults to false, so we can just do this. And it'll default all these booleans to false. Okay. So what we're going to say is, if we're jumping, just writing this out for me so that I remember. If we're jumping, right, if we've already pressed the space key, and let's say, actually we'll call this can double jump. If we're jumping, if double jump, can double jump is false, then only allow jump, only allow second jump if can double jump is true. So if we're already jumping or falling, then we only want to allow the second jump if we are able to double jump. Otherwise, don't allow a second jump until we reach the ground. Till we stay grounded. Right. So I think I can do on collision enter here. Ooh, excuse me. Floor. This is the thing, I get so distracted. Okay. So if is jumping, or is falling, and just doing some logic here, and can double jump, and jump. Can double jump equals false. Oh, hey, Lori. Good to see some familiar faces in here. That's cool. Yeah, so we're going to start this off, actually. We're going to say can double jump equals true. And I'm realizing now that I'm just going to make two different variables here. Bool double jump equals can double jump equals true. Say it's true for now. So all this is only if can double jump. Right. If we can double jump, and we're either jumping or falling, and we haven't double jumped yet. So that's why I made that second variable here. Oh, right, yes. All this logic. So we jump, and then double jump equals true. So this means we have double jumped. We have jumper. And what else do we want to do? We want to say, well, technically we're going to set is jumping and is falling. Else, that should actually be fine, I think. So if we can double jump, if we're either going up or going down, and double jump is false and we haven't double jumped yet, then we're going to double jump. Excuse me, we're going to set double jump to true. And then we're just going to wait until we get all the way to the bottom, and then we can't jump anymore. Otherwise, if is jumping or is Python, strike again. Is jumping or is falling. Oh, sorry, hang on. If we are neither jumping or falling, then we want to jump. Right? I think that's correct. Okay. Now we have to figure out when is jumping is true and is falling is true. So really, it's just a matter of checking for the velocity. So if the not velocity dot y is less than 0, I'll say greater than for now, because I think greater than velocity is going up, but I might be wrong. Yes. RV velocity dot y. So if we are increasing our y, if we're going up, then is jumping equals true. Tray equals true. Is falling equals false. Else if 2d dot less than 0. I keep forgetting my parentheses here. I feel like one of those translators who's speaking to two different people, like a German and a Spanish person, and you're speaking Spanish to the German person, you're speaking German to the Spanish person, then is falling. Well, actually, we probably want to set is jumping to false first. Yeah, actually, I'll do that up there as well. Falling equals true. And I'll do this guy first. Okay. Cool. Is, yep, okay, and then we'll just do an else, set them both to false, turn everything off, cut the power to the building, equals false. Right, so this is always going to be true, because once we're adding a force, which we're doing here, you're also probably wondering why we're not using time.delta time here in the jump, in the add force, and you could, if you wanted to have it move at a certain rate every time, but when we're jumping here, when we're just adding the force, it's going to move it, I wouldn't say at the same rate, but it's going to add the same amount of force, because the physics doesn't change between each computer, but the movement might. So we're not necessarily like using physics in this statement here, but we are in here. And actually, speaking of that, we would probably want to put this in fixed update. We can leave this here, but whenever we're using an add force or using anything with physics, there's another super top secret function. Not super top secret, that's a lie. But I'm just gonna, I don't know why they have the private there. Fixed update, and this is essentially the same thing as update, except it's basically just better to put all of your physics related code inside of fixed update instead of update. So I'm regretting, I'm hesitant to think of to put like this key down press in fixed update. So maybe I can just make a function that sets that calls some other. I'll make like a check jump or something. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so if I put all this in a check jump function, then well, no, that probably wouldn't work either. When do I want to jump? I don't want to put all this in fixed update. I just want to put the jump, but I don't want to separate out the key, all the different key presses. I'd rather not do that. Alright, well, I'll do it for the time being, and then I'll figure out a better way to do that. So I want to keep the jump in here, but I want to keep all this logic as well. I can just say it. I can just put like a boolean in here or something. Yeah, I'll just make a check jump or something. Oopsie daisies. Bool. Check jump. And okay. Yes, I'll just do this. Grab you. We're moving up in the world, buddy. Up to update. That's. Yes, you're going to complain, I understand. I'll say check jump equals true. And then in here I'll just say if check jump. Pardon me, thank you. Also, I think there's a way to. Okay, I just found this out recently, and this blows my mind. So normally when you click and hold, you have to select every single line. So if you want to just like change these two like braces here, if you want to change them, I don't know, from braces to parentheses or something, then you have to like click here and then change it and then click here and do that. But if you want to change both of them at the same time without selecting any of this nonsense over here, all you have to do is hold Alt, and then you can just select these two, and it just selects the whole column, and it's mind-blowingly helpful. So if I wanted to do something like that, then I can just replace all of these. Well, it's going to give me grief, yeah, but that blew my mind. I'm easily impressed, I guess. That was just... It was a little tidbit of the day for you. So if we are checking for the jump, then do all this. And we're setting check jump to true. Lovely, lovely. Okay, cool. So that'll work for now. What's happened here? It's a bit out of place. Always good to organize and format. Makes reading things a lot easier. Honestly, I don't really need this here for right now. So I'm gonna leave that. It is honestly really nice not to worry about white space. Going from Python to like Java or C#, it's just a drastic change in luxury, I guess I'll call it. Okay, right. So now every time we click the space, we're going to set check jump to true, and then if check jump. If we can double jump, then do all that to double jump, and then when do we set check jump to false is the question. We probably set it to false when we land. Oh, hang on. No, that's not what we want to do. Because sometimes when we jump and we reach the apex of the jump, we're going to reach a velocity of 0, so we don't want to set check jump to false in here. We probably just want to, on collision, enter. So it's called when this collider has begun touching another collider. Oh, and you know what? I realized, well, I guess it's not super important right now, but having static colliders in Unity is not as efficient. It's better to have a rigid body also connected, but for right now, it's not a huge deal. We only have one. When I say static collider, I mean, let's say on the floor, there's just a collider on here. There's nothing else that's attached to it. There's no other component. So apparently it's just recommended to have something else like a rigid body or some odd. Have it be kinematic if you want. God, get out of here. These bugs are all over the place. On collision, enter to D. Collision, I'm going to call it call, because I think that shorter names are better for space. So when we collide with it, let's start giving things tags. Okay. Let's add a tag. Let's call it floor. So original. Let's give this one a tag. Let's call it platform. Platform. And then we actually have to assign it. Let's do that. And bada bing, bada boom. Let's add one for the player as well. Player, lovely. You're helping us out so much in our quest to make the ultimate typing runner. So we have on collision enter. So when our player collides with the floor, if all dot tab game object dot tag. Oh, there's a compare tag, isn't there? Compare tag floor. I'm realizing now I probably want to make this the floor too. No, you know, I'll keep it as platform. If whoa, can't do that. Transform dot position dot y. So if we are above the floor, I'll check it for the floor and for the platform. If the y is, if we're above the floor, greater than transform dot y. Oh, hang on, no, maybe that'll work. I don't know. Where is this thing on Earth? Can I move it? I just wanna see it. Usually there's a little gizmo that pops up that lets you maybe not, eh? I just want to be able to see where the center is. So I know that I left it here at some point, but I don't know why it's not showing up here. Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let me just check everything else and see if anything. All right. I'm just gonna set you to 0. Player. Okay. That's why. I get a 200. Where are you going? Right. So we have our collider here. It's a bit off, actually, now that I look at it. And I guess we kind of knew that, but... oh, that's not. That's what I want. Right. So, right. So now, if the y here is greater than the y of this guy, then we are going to set jump equal to false, and we're already setting is jumping is falling to false whenever the velocity is 0. And then we'll set double jump equal to false as well. That means that we haven't double jumped yet, so we can reset the double jump. Yeah, we're looking okay here. Okay, so we collide with that, and let's just see. Right. So now that we've changed the Z, now we have to update that for all these guys. Set the Z to 0, please. Thank you. Bit of a small floor we had there. Alright, rightio. So I'm going to take a look at the player here. I'm going to look at the check jump. Okay, so double jump is not working. I'm sure I'm missing something. Can double jump is jumping, and double jump is false. So when do we set double jump to true? We set it only... Oh, right. So we don't want to set it the first time. We want to set it... if we jump... Sorry, I'm just trying to think about this. So I realized that we're setting jump to true immediately. So this is not necessarily true. This just means we've jumped. We've jumped once. If we're jumping, then we jump. Oh, you know what? Let's, yeah. If jump, and then yes. Okay. So if we are jumping or falling and double jump is false, if we're already jumping or falling, then no, hang on. Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this. If check jump, so check jump is only set to true if we press the spacebar. So once we've pressed the spacebar, then if we haven't, okay, if not is jumping. If we're not doing anything, and if we are not doing anything, then jump. Right. Else, if we are either jumping or falling, we can't ever be both, I don't think. Yeah, no, we can't ever be both. Thankfully, because that would be a bloody nightmare. If we are jumping, then we want to check if can double jump. Boy, imagine being able to double jump in real life. I think that's everybody's true dream. If we can double jump, and we haven't double jumped yet. I'm gonna rename this. This is the great thing about Visual Studio, is that you can just rename something and it'll replace it in not only this class but in any class that you're using that variable, if you are using it in other classes. And double jump. And we haven't double jumped yet. Then we want to jump again. set double jump to true, and check jump. Well, no, that's fine. We're setting check jump to false down here. Let's try that. So if we're not jumping, then we're going to jump. Otherwise, if we are jumping, if we're jumping or falling, then we want to check if we can double jump, and we haven't yet. And we're going to jump again, and we're going to double jump. We have to kick the air so hard that we jump again, which is just crazy. Oh! Interesting. So right now, what is true? Oh! Huh. You don't say. Well, apparently our y is greater than, so I'm just going to do so this is a little trick that some developers use. Instead of using 0, if you know that something is going to be like a really minuscule amount, then you just check if it's less than something, a number that's very, very close to 0 but not quite. So as you see here, it just says a tiny floating point value. So I just use that. It's called epsilon. I'm going to see if that works. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so it's still... Let's try a larger range then. Oops. Less than negative. Whoa. Okay. Okay. So it seems that I don't know why it would be moving. We're translating it solely on the x-axis. So that's really interesting. I guess maybe there's a bit of space in between here and the player somehow. The floor and the player, I should say. They should both be box colliders, so I'm not sure. But in any case, we found a little hack, a little workaround. Okay, so now we're just only double jumping. Oh, and now we are rotating. Great. Oh, okay. Right. So, if we're not jumping, then jump. Alright, so we're adding force. Otherwise... Oh. Hang on, so this is always going to happen. Right. This is happening in fixed update. This isn't just happening once. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it for now because I don't want to spend too much time on coding. I want to do some stuff in the editor as well because this is the fun stuff. This is like coloring in coloring books, and I don't know. This is like developer candy. At least in the beginning stages, when you get to like make stuff. This is always the fun part. And then eventually you run into bugs and you run into Unity issues, but that happens down the line. Right now, we are having fun. We are having so much fun. Okay. Now let's call it flat floor, and let's make them all treasure chests. No. Oh, we got some spikes. He is super happy in this one. I'm definitely going to use that. Okay. We got some trees. We got a body. I'm going to leave that for later. Don't know what I could possibly use that for. Maybe for another kind of game. And we just have a lot of dirt. Some eyeballs. Some flowers. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. I think Yeah, a lot of grass. Wow. Loads of grass. The grass is still going. Okay, now we're reaching little hills. More grass. Holy smokes. I mean, I don't know. It's just so overwhelming. Look at how much grass there is. Oh, and they give you all the different treasures as well. Oh, and we're definitely gonna add coins in here. That's just a fact. We just have to do that. And we got our mountains. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a single grass tile. Please forgive me. I'll do this one. And now, where are you? Oh, we have to set the layer, I think. Mid-ground, that's the one. And which one is the player on? Player's on foreground. Okay. So I'm going to make a few of these. I'm actually going to make this a bit smaller as well. It might not be super visible. Maybe I'll pick a better... Maybe I'll make it snowy. And I'll make the scale a bit smaller. Rightio. And the platform will eventually have... Oh dear. Right. Let's set the Y here. 0, and then I'll just do a few control D's. That over. That over. Move that over. And move that over. It's a pretty decent platform. You know, maybe it's a bit higher up. So the snow hasn't fully melted yet. Who knows? Okay. So let's add a script. A platform movement. Oh, I'm going to use a capital here. That's really important. You know what else is really important? Hydrating. Drink up. It's healthy for you. Some of these have box colliders on them, and I don't know why. Oh no, it's just selecting... No, I'm not crazy. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it added my script. Oh, there it is. I was wondering where I put it. Cool. Again, I know you guys can't see some of the stuff down here. I hope you can at least see these scripts down here. Maybe I can move the window around a bit. But in any case, most of the action is going to be happening right here in the very visible top left corner. Okay, so let's give it speed. Just call it speed for now. We can change it in the inspector later. We'll say original start exposition and exposition. So we're going to be adding this to this guy. Right. And do you know what? I really hope there's no space. Ooh, there's a space. Oh, that's not... Nope. Yep, that's not going to fly. Okay. Well, it's at least better. Quote unquote. Famous last words. So we have start exposition, we have our end exposition. We're going to be moving it that away, so we probably want speed. We definitely want speed to be negative. We want it to be an X speed, so maybe we can change this to X speed. Maybe we'll have some platforms going up and down. Who knows? You guys can add some stuff if you so desire. Right. So in start, we really don't think we need anything. In start, we're just checking. We're going to be moving this guy to the left. Oh no, what happened to my camera? I guess what happened to the background is a better question. Let's move it over just a smidgen. Actually, do you know what? Instead of making a platform movement, I'm going to delete this. Yes, delete. I'm going to make a, I don't know, I'll call it object movement. Or maybe, yeah, we'll just say looping movement. That way we can apply it to the floor. Well, we'll have to apply something different to the floor. But we'll apply it to the platform, we'll apply it to the background. And we're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna try this. Because this is gonna happen, I'm sure, for a number of items, not just the platforms or the background, but maybe other assets that we'll add later on. So again, we're gonna need field, private, float, speed, float, starting expositione, float, ending expositione. We'll say transform dot translate. Yep. Actually, what does this take? It takes translation relative to. Oh, it takes a vector 3. Takes in space relative to. Oh, it takes in either local or global space. Transform, and it takes in. Right. Okay. I think it also does vector 2 and just adds the 0 at the end to make it a vector 3. That's why it worked before. So what are we doing here? Come on, David. Transform.translate vector 2 dot reft times time.delta time. There's that all famous delta time times our speed. So we're going to be moving to the left. Times speed. Cool. So let's just test that out on the platform. Whoops. That's good. Hang on a second. Okay. Oh, it's already there. Never mind. Speed, let's make this 10. Sure. And let's run this bad boy. I just want to see it move. Okay, cool. So, it's a bit fast for my taste. Maybe we'll make it move at a leisurely pace here. Okay. Not too bad. Right. What I didn't do is center my platform. Well, I guess that's kind of okay, but what I want to do is just take these out, move this over just a smidgen, all the way to the edge here, and then I'll move these guys back. And I'll just set the the offset of the collider, and I like this song. And I'll do that, and I'll do a little Mardi Gras in my life. A little bit of that's good. And I'll move this down a bit. Oh. And I'll move it down just a smidgen. Just a wee bit. Right. Okay. And let's move this over. Save that. Always save. That's going to double jump. Cool. Alright. So that is technically working. Lovely. Uh-oh, what happened? Well, let's take a look. I think I know where he went. Yep, there he is. All the way down there. and he is rotating as well somehow. So maybe we can change that. But we have to add some small wall colliders here. So I'm just gonna make one big object called level. I'm gonna put all of my assets in there, and then I'm gonna add a couple of wall objects. Wall left and wall right. Wall Mario. Add components. Box collider. 2D. I'll put one right over here. Yep. Oh, I don't want to change the scale. Hang on. By George Watson. Okay, wall right. And I don't know, how far does it go? Up to the middle of this, maybe? Where is that? Oh, that's way further out. What am I talking about? That's over here then, huh? Yeah, okay. Just a bit. Well, why doesn't this show up then? Interesting. What happens if I move, not the floor, but the platform over? Do you see it? Oh, we do. Okay, so it's like over here then somewhere. Interesting. Oh, I guess because of the Z value. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's just set the wall to be like around here-ish. Move the wall over, do that. And we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. So this will be a good stopping point, I'd say. And I'll just add looping to the background as well. So I just want to see one that this works okay, right? That's fine, yeah. And oops, I forgot to check the other one as well. Let's jump. Almost. Let's just test this out while we're playing. Okay. So it's not great because we get this little jitteriness here, so we can definitely fix that. So it's trying to move past the collider, but we just have to prevent that from happening. So we're gonna have to do the same thing here when we jump and we fall onto the platform. Oh, do you know what? Let's add the looping movement to this guy as well. Let's make this like 1. This is gonna, and this is what we call the parallax effect. Now what we're gonna eventually have to do is take the platform and move it back over from, actually I don't know if it's for you guys, it's from this way to this way, or this way to this way. For me, it's from this side to this side. We're gonna move it back over to the right, and it's just gonna repeat and loop like that. Eventually we're gonna have some randomizing of where the platforms show up, if they're a bit higher or a bit lower. We're also going to fix the jump. That's super important. Change this maybe to 1.5. And I can't forget that I made all those changes in play mode. So I'm going to leave that right there. See how we do with that. If that's too far. Nope, that's actually pretty good. Okay, cool. So we'll save that. And we'll do the same thing with the background when it comes to looping. So once this guy, this sprite over here reaches a certain X threshold, goes past the screen, right? So once this part of the sprite goes all the way off screen, then we're just gonna move it back over here somewhere, whatever that X value might be. Right. I said we wanted to do animations today. I guess the scripting took a bit longer because I'm still getting into the swing of things here. But this is starting to come together, at least level design wise. We still have a lot of things to add. We still have enemies to add. We still have the typing mechanic, right? The whole point of the genre mashup. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video, and comment if you have any suggestions for ways to fix certain issues I might be running into. And go ahead and check out some of the other videos on the DAE channel. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Alright,